Hello, good morning friends. So in the last lecture that we have seen about how the Matlab, some basic coding related to the Matlab, and in this particular video that we have to see something about the command windows, editor windows, and how we can be able to develop the programming related to the Matlab. Now basically in the last lecture that we have seen something about how we can be able to make the addition subtractions of the some variables, or how we can be able to store something in the variables. Now in this particular today's lecture that we are going to see how we can be able to use this particular command window, how we can be able to use this particular editor window, and how we can be able to prepare some sort of that matrices and the functioning of those particular matrices. So this will be a particular very interesting session. So basically here that first of all in this particular command window, so I will just make it enlarge. So suppose how we can be able to store those particular variables in terms of numbers that we have seen. So just I will repeat that particular part within 1 or 2 minutes. Suppose if we want to save this a variable and we are just storing this particular a variable. So we are just storing one number in the variable a. Suppose in the b variable we are storing the number 2, and when we want to do the addition of this a plus b, so here you can be able to get this particular addition as an a 3, or when we want to do a minus b, so that also you can be able to get the answer of this a minus b, that is minus 1. Okay, so this particular part that we have seen in the last lecture. So in the editor window, whatever may be the things we are going to do, so in the workspace you can be able to observe in the variable a 1 is stored, in the variable b that 2 is stored, and whatever may be the ans, so this is the answer. Okay, so this will be generated by the Matlab because we have not stored anything as a variable. So suppose if we'll save this variable as a c, suppose c is equal to a plus b, if we'll do this, so here you can be able to see, so in the c variable that addition will be get stored. Suppose if you want to store the subtraction of the a and b, so one more variable that we have defined, that is d. So this you can be able to get that. So ans that will be going to then change according to the variables, but addition will be get stored in the c, subtraction will be get stored in the d. So when you want to save something, you have to generate some new variables. And in the last lecture also that we have seen something about the case sensitivity in the Matlab. Suppose if we will do that a plus capital B, suppose small a plus capital B, so that particular function will not be going to run. Here you will get that particular error, that is undefined the function or variable small a, because this is the case sensitive. What things we have stored, that is in terms of capital A, and here we are using as a small a. So here also it is suggesting that did you mean capital A plus B, because we have stored that particular things in the capital A. So that's why this is the case sensitive error. This particular error is called as a case sensitive error. Now when we want to do something like this, so here if we'll do the CLC command, if we'll use the CLC command, everything will be gets cleared in the command window. And when we want to clear everything, we have to use the clear all command, so that whatever may be this workspace, that will be also gets cleared. So what we have stored in the a, now it is not visible. If we'll do this a plus b, it will be asked that undefine the function or variable a, so anything will not be get stored. So once again you have to store this a is equal to 1, then b is equal to 2, and then c is equal to a plus b. So here you can be able to get the answer for this. Now what thing you have stored already, or what things you have did in this Matlab, so you can be able to get by using the up key. So if you do this up key, so whatever maybe the things you have did till that particular part, it will be get stored over here. Okay, so now we will move towards the further part related to the matrices. Okay, now how we can be able to do the addition of the matrices, or how that particular matrices will be get stored, how we can be able to make the addition, how we can be able to make the subtractions of those matrices. So those things we are now going to see in this particular lecture. Okay, now suppose if we want to store A. Okay, so this is suppose one matrix we want to store. Now just understand, if we want to store the first row, suppose our first row is 1 2 3, okay, and these are the columns, okay, 1 2 and 3. So these are storing in the columns. So just only use the single space in this and then use the semicolon when you want to do the separation of the rows. So suppose my next row is 4 5 6, and then my third row is suppose 7 8 and 9. So this will be gets cleared. Okay, so once again I will just repeat that particular thing. Suppose I am storing this matrices A. Okay, now how I can be able to write this particular matrices? Suppose 1 2 3, this is the first row, okay, and columns will be get separated by using the space. Now when I want to separate the row, when I want to write the second row, then use this particular semicolon. So this 4 5 6, that will be get stored in the second row, and this 7 8 9, this will be get stored in the third row. Now suppose if you hit this enter, here you can be able to see this matrix 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Now one more matrix, suppose B. So like this A, you can be able to write B. So B, suppose I will take this matrices as an 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8 9 and 10. Okay, now if you hit this, you will get the matrix B. Now when we want to do the addition of this A plus B, okay, so like this previous part, here you will get the addition of these two matrices. Now once again I will just enlarge this window so you will get very clear idea. Now in the A plus B, what is storing? 1 plus 2 3, 2 plus 3 5, 3 plus 4 7. Okay, then similarly 4 plus 5 9, 5 plus 6 11, and 6 plus 7 13. Okay, similarly 7 plus 8 15, 8 plus 9 17, 9 plus 10 19. Now one more part, if suppose I want to do the subtraction of these two matrices, if I'll write this A minus B, then here you can be able to get the subtraction, that is minus 1. Okay, because we have taken this, or suppose if you want to do this reverse B minus A, you will get all elements as a 1. Okay, so in this way you can be able to do these things in the command windows. Okay, so I hope that it is very much clear to you. Now similarly I can be able to do this particular task in the editor window. Now suppose if I write A similarly as an 1 2 3, then semicolon 4 5 6, then again semicolon 7 8 and 9. Okay, now before doing this I will just make this particular command window clear, and then I will just do the clear all, so that what things we have stored, it will be everything will be cleared. And then if I write the B matrix in the editor window, so what is the use of this particular editor window, that we are just going to see. Okay, now one more thing that you have to take care that while writing this particular matrices, you have to use the square bracket, don't use the circular brackets. Okay, so this is the by default part in this Matlab. Okay, then next is 5 6 7 and 8 9 and 10. Okay, so this will be the completion of the matrix. Now suppose if I'll do this A plus B over here, so this particular A plus B, I have to store something in the C, suppose. Now before this, here you can be able to observe this is untitled star. So on this untitled, you can be able to observe the star mark or star symbol in this. So in this editor window, whatever may be the things we are just now going to store, this will be get stored permanently. So next time you can be able to, once you will close this particular Matlab, so once again if you want to open this same program, you can be able to open this. So it will not be gets run unless and until it will be get stored or it will be get saved. So suppose if I'll use this run command, so it will be asked that just it has to be get stored somewhere. Now I will just store this as a matrix addition. Okay, so while storing this, one more part you have to take care that don't use any number, means one matrix addition like this. You have to use only the letters before, means while saving initially. Then if you want to add the number later on, you can be able to add the number like this, matrix addition 1. Okay, or matrix addition 1 like this. So don't use the number initially, so it will not be get stored properly. So suppose matrix addition, then if I save this particular part, here you can be able to see this. Now it will be get stored as a matrix addition, and in the workspace you can be able to see this. Now it has been, we have just used the run command, so that's why it has been get stored everything. So in the command window you will get that in the addition of the matrix it had done the addition, that is 8 plus 9, that is 17, 9 plus 10, that is 19, like this. Okay, so this will be a particular part related to this addition of the matrix. Now in this particular editor window, here might be you may have that particular question is like that, sir, we have just stored this A as well as B, but if we want to prepare, this is for the user friendly program, so is it possible to use this particular part as a user friendly? Yes, definitely. So one more window I will just open. Now suppose if you want to store this A as an input for first matrix, so in this particular Matlab you have to use the input command. Okay, so input means what user want to give as an input to the Matlab. Okay, so input, then use single semicolon, and then just display enter your first matrix, so that user will be understand whatever may be he want to do the addition for this or subtraction for this, so he will enter his first matrix. Similarly you have to use this B, that is as an input enter your second matrix. Okay, and the command will be gets cleared, and then C will be equal to A plus B, or here you can be able to save this instead of C. Also you can be able to give as an addition A, like that previously we have used addition A plus B. Okay, as a variable. Then if you want to do the subtraction, so you can be able to store as a subtraction A minus B, or also you can be able to do as a new variable subtraction 1. Okay, so your new variable will be subtraction 1, that is B minus A. I will just use that as a subtraction 1, and here I will just do B minus A. Now what will be happen? Now here you can be able to see some sort of that yellow warnings will be arises. Now why those yellow warnings will be there? So in the command window, so basically what things we are going to run in this editor window, everything will be gets displayed in this command window. So first of all I will just do clear all in the command window. Okay, because we have run this particular program previously, and this particular program again we have to save. So I will just save this as an matrix all. Okay, matrix all, and then I will save this because we have done the subtraction also. So matrix all, in terms of this I have just saved this. Now if I will run this particular program, why this particular yellow warnings will be arises? Because everything will be get stored in the command window. Suppose if you don't want to display what that user has been given in terms of matrix A or in terms of matrix B, so if you want to don't display this part in the command window, simply you have to use the semicolon. So whatever the warnings will be there, that has been gets eliminated from this Matlab window. Similarly, like this addition, subtraction and subtraction 1. But these things we have to we want to see in this particular Matlab. So we are not going to use the semicolon after this. Initially, I will just remove the semicolons from here also, so that you will get everything will be gets displayed. So once again, I will just save this and then run this. Now here you can be able to see enter your first matrix. So this will be a user friendly program. Suppose if you want to give that this as an 1 2 3, then semicolon 4 5 6, then 7 8 9, and then it will be stored, or it will be gets displayed to your matrix A initially what you have stored, and then again it will be asked enter your second matrix. So I will use this second matrix as a 2 3 4 semicolon 5 6 7, again semicolon 8 9 and 10. Okay, then here again if you enter this, and now I will just zoom this. Okay, command window. So here you can be able to see that in the command window, A will be get stored all that particular matrix, B will be get stored, and then what command we have used, that is addition, then subtraction and subtraction 1. So what thing we have want to do, so everything will be gets displayed. So here you can be able to use anything, addition of matrices, subtraction of matrices, subtraction of matrices 1, likewise anything. Now I will just hide this. Suppose if you don't want to get display this A and B, so I will just use simply a semicolon, and once again I will just clear this particular command window. Now you can be able to observe this, even if you are just going to clear command window, everything will be get stored in this editor window. So there is no any, your program will not be gets removed from this editor window, because that editor in the edit, why it is called an editor window, because anytime you can be able to make the edit in this particular part. Okay, now suppose one more time if I'll run this, and suppose 1 2 3, then 4 5 6, then 7 8 9. Okay, now here in the previous case you have observed that matrix A will be get displayed, but now we have used the semicolon, so in the command window you will not get this particular matrix A. Okay, but it will be get stored, don't worry about that. So 2 3 4, then 4 5 6. Now I am just using very simple that numbers, because I want you should be able to understand. You can be able to choose any complicated numbers. Now here you can be able to, now here in the workspace you can be able to observe your A will be get stored, B will be get stored, but in the command window there is no any, you cannot be able to see A as well as matrix B. Only we have entered the matrix A, we have entered the second matrix in terms of B, and here we are getting the directly the addition as well as that subtraction. Now here you can be able to see that what we have did, that is A minus B. Okay, so addition, that will be fine, but we have used the same matrix over here, that is 4 5 6 4 5 6 7 8 9 7 8 9. So in the subtraction here you are getting all elements 0 for this. Okay, so any numbers you can be able to use. So I hope that this particular task you have understood thoroughly. So once again I will just use the clear all command, and then again once again I will just double click on this, so I can be able to see this particular layout. So I hope that you have understood this particular part very nicely, how we can be able to use this now editor window. So once again I will just repeat that editor window we are using just to store everything properly. Okay, in the command window, when we want to do something temporarily, we are using the command window, but when we want to store something or when we want to make the things, or here also suppose I want to make the multiplication, so I can be able to add and done or do the addition in this multiplication A into matrix B. So once again if I'll use this up command, so I can be able to see that what I have stored. So this is your first matrix, so answer you are getting directly, because we have not run this particular part. We have to first save this and again we have to run this. So in the next part you will get that particular in the up command. I will just use the same matrices. Okay, so then again enter, then again I will just use this second as a matrix. And now in the multiplication you can be able to see one more part as a multiplication. So addition will be get displayed, subtraction will be gets displayed, subtraction 1, and we have done the multiplication of the matrices. So you can be able to make the things editable in this editor window. So in the next part if you want to remove something or if you want to add something, so it is possible by using the editor window. So I think that this is the very introductory part of this particular Matlab. So how we can be able to store some sort of that variables, how we can be able to use the addition, subtraction commands, and in the next part we are just going to see how we can be able to store the function in the matrices. So thank you very much. I hope that you understood this particular things thoroughly, and in the comment box you have to just please ask your doubts, whatever the things you want to learn. So I'm just trying to make such kind of that videos also. So thank you very much.